Okay, question 10. In the diagram below, D, E and F represents the position of Dunbridge, Earlsford and Fairtown respectively. So look, they make a triangle. Dunbridge is 15 kilometres west of Earlsford. Right, pay attention to that. So you've got your D and there's your north going straight west, so we know by reading it that that is definitely a right angle in there. From Dunsbridge, the bearing of Fairtown, this one here, is 126 degrees. So this angle in here is 126 degrees. From Earlsford, the bearing of Fairtown is 230. So this one round here. Okay, calculate the distance between Dunbridge and Fairtown. Don't use a scale drawing. Right, looking at this, you know you're going to be using either sine rule or cosine rule. But which one is it going to be? Cosine rule, we either need the three sides of the triangle, the lengths of them, which we don't have, or we need two sides and the angle that they make. Now all we've got is one side here and we're asked to find another side. So that's not working. We're going to have to look at sine rule. So we've been given lots of angles. Using these, what we need to do is figure out the sizes of these angles in here. So go away, stop the video and have a wee go. Okay, what do we know so far? We know that wee bitty in there is 90 and we know that bit there is 90. So if that's 230 and that's 90, angles around a point add up to 360. So 230 plus 90, take that answer away from 360, you're going to get this angle in here. Okay, so we get 360, take away 90 plus 230, 40 degrees. So this angle in here, we now know is 40 degrees. Okay, that's us got one of the angles. Now, let's see if we can work out this one. So we know the whole angle there is 126 degrees. I know that bitty there's a right angle. So if we do 126 take away 90, we'll get this one in here. Okay, so 126 minus 90, 36. Let's get 36 in there. So last but not least, this one here, 36 plus 40, take it away from 180, we're going to get that angle in there. Okay, so 180 take away 36 plus 40, 104. So my final angle in there is 104. Right, sine rule. We need a side and its opposite angle in order to find, and we also need an angle, and this is the one that we want to find here. So let us write down sine rule. Okay, so sine rule, A over sine A, B over sine B, C over sine C. Now remember you can do this the opposite way, so it's sine A over A, sine B over B, sine C over C. It just depends what you're looking for. We are looking for a side, so as long as we've got a side and its opposite angle, we can find another side and given its angle. So let's fill in what we know. So we're going to use our 15 kilometres and our 104, and our other pair will be 40 degrees and the one that we're trying to find. So I'm going to name these angles. Okay, so what we're trying to find is A, and there's its matching angle. And this is the pair that we know about, B, and its matching side. So let's just put our numbers in now. So filling in our numbers, we've got A over sine 40 is equal to 15 over sine 104. Rearranging it, the sine 40 comes up here. Okay, so A is going to be equal to 15 sine 40 over sine of 104 degrees. Chuck that into your calculator. Okay, chuck that in the calculator, you get 9.936 going on. Round it appropriately. I normally stick to 2 decimal places unless told otherwise, and we are not told otherwise there. So I've rounded this to 2 decimal places, so 9.94 kilometres. Mind your units. Okay, let's look at the marking scheme. So you get your first mark for figuring out your 40 degrees and your 104 degrees. You then get your second mark for correct substitution, so that's here. Your third mark comes from rearranging, and your fourth mark is your actual distance there. Done and dusted. So DF is equal to 9.94 kilometres. And we'll just stick the 9.94 equal to DF. Just be really specific about what it is you're equaling it up to. Done and dusted for that one. Okay, number 11. A straight line has the equation 3x minus 5y minus 10 is equal to 0. Find the gradient of this line. Normally, if it's in the form of y equals mx plus c, which is the general term or the general equation of a straight line, it's whatever's in front of your x. So what we need to do is we need to rearrange this so it's in the format of y equals mx plus c. So we need to make y the subject to this formula. And then whatever we've got in front of the x, once we've done that, that's our gradient. Stop the video, go and have a shot. Okay, so what we've got is 3x minus 5y minus 10 is equal to 0. And I want to rearrange this so that y is the subject of my formula. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to chuck my negative 5y over to the other side to make it positive. So that gets me my y by itself. Okay, chucking a wee thinking line, adding 5y onto both sides. Okay, so that gets me 3x minus 10 is equal to 5y. I don't want 5y, I want y by itself. So we need to divide everything through by 5. Okay, so dividing everything through by 5, 3 divided by 5 is 3 over 5. Leave it as a fraction. 10 divided by 5, 2, so negative 2. 5y divided by 5, we're left with 5. Now we've got this matching. Doesn't matter which way around it is, you've got the equal sign, 6 and 2 3s. So I've got y by itself, so now whatever's in front of that x, that's my gradient. So m is equal to 3 over 5, 3/5. Leave it alone. So marking scheme for this, you get a mark, 1 mark for shifting your 5y or dividing through by 5. So if you've got one of those, you'll get a mark. Your second mark is for getting your 3/5 to state your gradient explicitly. In other words, m equals 3/5. You leave it like that, you're not going to get your second mark. You have to actually do that. Okay, number 12. Express 1 over the cube root of x in the form of x to the power n. So I don't want x as a fraction. I'm rearranging these indices so that I'm not left with a fraction. So stop the video, go and have a wee shotty. Okay, so we need to rearrange this. I don't want this root sign. So how do we change a root sign? We change it into a fractional power. So the cube root of x is equal to x to the third. So we're going to rewrite this, or we're going to start rewriting this. Okay, so that is equal to 1 over x to the power of a third. Remember, that's your root, goes in the bottom. We know it's a cube root, so the 3 goes down there. However, I don't want it as a fraction, so I need to bring this up, which means that becomes a negative power in order to bring everything up. So what I end up with is x to the power negative 1/3. Done and dusted. Right, marking scheme. You are going to get a mark for getting to that stage, and then your final mark, your second mark, is for doing that.